Welcome to Collectible Motorcar of Atlanta. My name is Chris. I'm one of the managing partners here. And today I've got a very special Pontiac for you, a 2006 Pontiac GTO. And for all you people out there that are familiar with these cars, know that this is actually a Holden Monara. Pontiac, or GM should I say, actually purchased Holden back in the day, and they actually brought these over to the States and rebadged them as a Pontiac and called it a GTO. So this car's got a LS2 under the hood, which is 400 horsepower, 400 foot-pounds of torque, independent rear suspension, and it's got a 4L60 transmission that puts the power to the ground. But this is done in a brazen orange, and it is a beautiful color. It looks really, really good, and it definitely stands out. And this car is in excellent condition with only 31,000 miles on it. We'll go ahead and start up front here. Your bumper's in great condition. You have the grille here that says GTO in the front of it. You do have a license plate bracket up there that you could put a GTO license plate or whichever license plate you would like up front. The headlights are in great condition. One thing that is unique to the 05, 06 model is the ram air hood. For you guys that know, the 04 came with the 5.7 LS1 and did not come with the ram air hood. So this being an 06, you do get the ram air hood, which is a huge benefit. As we look at the side of the fender here, it's in great condition. I don't see any major paint flaws. You do have the 17-inch Pontiac GTO wheels. They had two different variants of wheels. They had the 18s and the 17s. Overall, super clean. You do have your GTO badge here on the side of the fender. Your gaps are nice and clean all the way down. I would like to also mention this car has a clean Carfax, so no accidents or anything like that on it. Another key thing with this car, with it being low mileage and kept in a garage, all your moldings and trim is in great condition. A lot of times your cars, especially the GTOs, your molding back here will start to get pits in it from where the sun just eats it up. But overall, this one's in great condition. Door is nice and clean. I don't see any dings or anything like that. We'll go ahead and open the door and show you that it closes nice and easy. No issues with the saggy door. As we look at the quarter panel back here in the rear, everything's nice and clean, no major dents. It looks really clean. Your body line is nice and crisp that runs down the side of the car here. You do have the rear spoiler here. Another key feature to the 05 and 06, actually I take that back, key feature for the 06 only are the blacked out tail lights here. Definitely give it a really sporty look, and you got the dual exhaust out back as well. You do have the rear fascia, or the rear bumper piece down there, don't even splitter, whatever you want to call it, has GTO in it, which gives it a really sporty look from the back. So when you're beating up on them Mustangs, they definitely know that they're racing a GTO. But overall, super cool car. We'll go ahead and open up the trunk. Not a huge trunk. Your gas tank is actually located right here in the trunk. The cars that were over in Australia, they were actually underneath the trunk, but due to the safety guidelines of the US, they had to move it up like that. So you do lose a little bit of trunk space, but overall very clean in here. No major issues or anything like that. But let's go ahead and move back up front, and I can show you the LS2 under the hood. All right, guys, check out the power plant underneath the GTO hood here. You got an LS2 that is 400 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque, and this car definitely has plenty of power. No issues there. Very clean under the engine bay. There's no modifications. Still has the stock air breather and intake. You've got that strut tower brace there across the top to help keep everything nice and tight. These cars actually are very capable in the turns with the independent rear suspension and everything, so they are definitely excellent cars to hit the back roads in. But overall, just super clean underneath here. AC blows cold. You still got the stock manifolds, but overall, very nice and clean engine bay. With that being said, let's go ahead and move to the interior. All right, guys, the interior on these GTOs are probably one of my favorites. For the time, you got to remember this is an 06. And in 06, this was definitely a very sporty interior. You've got the leather bucket seats with GTO monogrammed on the back of it. Your door panels are very clean. Your window switches are here in the center console, as well as your door locks. As you can see, the orange stitching on the shift knob there and the shifter boot, and as well as the e-brake. Overall, it's super clean in here. No major imperfections. Dash isn't cracked or anything like that. You do have the orange face gauges that have GTO monogrammed on them. Overall, just a super clean and sporty interior. But with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and move to the drive. That's going to be my favorite part, so we can feel the power of that 400 horsepower LS2. All right, guys, we're out cruising in the GTO, and I actually just had to turn the AC down because it was freezing me out. But this is such a great car. It handles so good. The steering's nice and tight. Definitely feels like a true sports car with the independent rear suspension, the tight steering, the good brakes, and the 400 horsepower under the hood. Just an excellent car to go cruising in. And the gauges just have a super cool look to them, being color matched to the paint outside, and definitely look really, really sporty with 200 on the dash there. So you definitely know that you're in a sports car when you're behind the wheel of this GTO. But overall, the ride is very impressive. You got a nice stereo system in here, and the transmission works very well with this car as well. It matches very well with the 400 horsepower LS2 under the hood. But with that being said, let's go ahead and see what this car will do. Plenty of power, guys. 400 horsepower on the street is plenty of power. For some of you speed junkies out there, you might want a little more, but this car is very capable of some light modifications, and you could definitely get somewhere around the 500 to 600 horsepower range very easily. But this one is an all stock car, no modifications done to it, so it's not been molested, and you can get this and make it your own. But overall, just a great car. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get back to the shop, and we'll put it up on the lift, and I can show you the underside. Okay, guys, we got the GTO back here at the dealership up on the lift. Let's look at our front core support here. It's nice and clean, no signs of any leaks. You do have a skid plate here, and it is steel, so that'll help just in case to protect the oil pan. You do have your rack and pinion here, your tie rod ends, your ball joints. Everything on your suspension looks nice and in good condition. Our mechanic has looked over this car and gave it a clean bill of health. You do have dual exhaust here with the CAT, so you are 50 state emission legal. So you can pass all the emissions. You'll have no issues with that. Tail shaft seal looks nice and dry, so no issues there as well. Bottom side of the car is actually in pretty good condition, and that's what you expect from a car with 30,000 miles on it. As we get to the back here, everything in the back is the same way. Axles look to be in good condition. All your suspension components are in great condition as well. The drive shaft looks good too, but overall just a really, really nice 2006 Pontiac GTO. And guys, these cars are absolutely amazing, and if you want a part of history, this is definitely a car you want. This is one of the last cars that Pontiac made, and this car is an absolute animal for what it is. You gotta think back in 2006, you didn't have 700 horsepower Hellcats. This was the Hellcat back in the day. Very cool car though, independent rear suspension, definitely really, really cool. If you'd like to see this car in more detail, go to our website at collectiblemotor.com, and you can click on the link for this car and look at all our pictures and full description. If you have any questions and would like to talk to someone in person, you can reach out to me. My name is Chris, or my partner Justin, and we can answer any questions you have with shipping, financing, or anything with the sales process, or any questions on the car. We can definitely help you with that. But go ahead and hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one.